You are welcome to our discussion segment here on Daybreak. This morning we'll be focusing on a pressing issue that is causing frustration and hardship for millions of Nigerians. I'm talking about the fuel scarcity. Now, the lingering fuel scarcity that started in the Federal Capital Territory some days ago has now spread to other parts of the country. We've seen the story from Jos, we've seen the story from Lagos. We've seen several stories on a few scarcity here and there, people queuing up to buy fuels. Long queues, skyrocketing prices, and stranded travelers have become the norm, which, would I say, no end in sight, or we hope to see an end to it. And to shed light on this crisis and possible solution, we have a special guest in the studio with us today, the National President of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, Ipman, Alhaji Abubakar Maigandi. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning.
Thank you for joining us on the show.
Yes, thank you very much.
All right, you're welcome to Daybreak Show. And with your expertise, actually, we hope to unravel the cause of this scarcity, the impact on the economy and the citizens, and the way forward. So our viewers and our listeners are actually really eager to hear from you. So quickly now, let's dive into the conversation. So what's happening? Let's just have that conversation open. What's happening? Why are we experiencing this at this point in time?
Well, we get a message through the NNPC, that there is flooding. At the same time, there is logistic problem. So I think these two things are the main factor of the scarcity. Because as of last week, since now it's a rainy season, there is heavy rain and thunder lightning, which in terms of safety is not good when there is lightning like that to be loading. And most of all Nigerians, they know that we specifically depend on importation. So this importation, we have a mother vessels and daughter vessels. So the mother vessels themselves cannot be able to discharge till we use daughter vessels. We carry the product and discharge in the depots. Then before we started loading by trucks. So that issue, that small delay that they have, actually that is what caused this lingering scarcity that you have been seeing going on.
So does it mean that so long as the rainy season persists, we're most likely going to still experience scarcity?
No, not necessarily.
Okay.
It depends on the nature of the weather. So if the weather is not favorable for loading, automatically there will be no loading. So it's the weather. It depends on the weather detectors. Whatever they detect, if they say it's not favorable because of safety, and the petroleum product is highly inflammable. If there is any slide, it may easily catch fire, which is not good.
Okay. So does this happen yearly? So Nigerians will know what to expect. We've seen that for the past couple of years we've experienced flooding. Does it happen yearly? Do we see cases of having issues with loading fuel and scarcity due to rainfall, or this is just a recent development?
No, it's not a recent. It's something that has been happening.
Okay.
But the other time, the reason why you have not been seeing already, there is enough stock.
Okay.
Yes. So in a situation whereby if the stock is not enough, when such kind of situation happen, it may cause this thing that you have seen.
Okay. So we've also seen several reports beyond rainfall. We've seen people talk about depot and tanker challenges. Tanker drivers having their own fair share of challenges, and also depot operations. Now, could you elaborate and share more light on that?
Yes. We independent petroleum marketers, we normally carry our product to the various depots, either NNPC depot, Ipman depot, major marketers depot, because we normally used to buy product from them.
Okay.
So immediately when there is stock, when we buy the product, we go and load our product and carry it to our various filling stations. And if we have any flooding that was on the road, so if there is during rainy season, because there are some places where the roads is not good, So if there is flooding, the truck cannot be able to pass. They have to wait till the flood pass away. Then they will just pass the road to go to the filling station and discharge.
Okay.
Yes.
So now we learned that some drivers, beyond the flooding, we also saw in the report where they also complain about not being able to access the portal to place orders. How true is that?
Yes, there are some marketers, not the drivers, it's marketers.
Marketers, yes.
Yes, because some marketers are complaining because there is regulation that each and every marketer must obtain a DPR license. Then if you have this DPR license, then you may have access to the portal. When you have the access to the portal, then you can pay your product. Then after some days, then you will go and pick your product to designated depots.
Okay, so is this a new development, the DPR license?
Yes, it's a new development, and they have been doing that so that to make a control. You know, everything must have a control.
Okay, so currently at the moment, do we have stock on ground and drivers and marketers don't have access to it, or is it a case of there are no stock on ground and this might linger a little longer?
No, as they have already rectified this issue, most of the depot now has stock.
Okay.
And our marketers are loading.
Okay.
So this lingering scarcity that you have seen, it may soon go because we have started loading in the various depots, and we instructed all our marketers, independent petroleum marketers, to do, especially those who are in the cities, to stay 24 hours servicing the motorist.
Okay. So in cases of, like you said, is there a likelihood of this repeating itself? Especially the fact that we still have rainy season on.
No, we are not expecting that, because now, since actually this issue has happened, we have already advised NNPC, let them try and have an emergency stock in the various depots, like in the north and the other parts where they are not very close to the seaport.
Okay.
Yes, and I know they will comply to that distance, so that in case if there is anything, we can start loading the one that we have in the other depots. Okay,
so when are we expecting the queues to fizzle out?
At any time from now, because we are seriously working, and we have been collaborating with the NNPC management to see that this scarcity has gone. Because, you know, if there is scarcity, we doesn't have a rest of mind, because whenever they said people are suffering, as a good Nigerian, patriotic Nigeria, you too will not be happy. So that is the reason why we advise all our independent petroleum marketers, anybody who has any fuel in his filling station, he should make sure that he discharge it and sell it to the motorist. Okay,
are there any supervisory measures being put in place? Because we know that marketers are fond of hoarding fuel and hoarding this product. So are there any disciplinary actions put in place to ensure that, you know, this is being dispersed, like you said, as soon as? So we're expecting to see a less queue by the end of today in cities like Abuja and, you know, Jos, and then other northern states. So are there any disciplinary measures being put in place for this to be regulated and see that it's being followed to book?
You know, we independent petroleum marketers, we don't normally hoard fuel.
Okay.
Because we are law-abiding citizens, and our members already are operating based on the rules and regulations of the NDPPRA. So there is no way we can hold our filling station, our product. So immediately when the product comes inside the filling station, we discharge and commence selling.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Now, what strategies are being put in place now, especially by Ipman? Like you gave one, you suggested that you put a suggestion to the NNPC to put depot in some other northern states to prevent this from happening. So if this happens, they just go there and load and move. So what other strategies are being put in place to ensure that next rainy season we don't see a repeat? Because we're fond of seeing a repeat and then it now starts trying to take corrective measures instead of proactive measures. So what strategies are being put in place at this point? What strategies can be put in place to mitigate this and prevent it from happening next time?
Well, you know, we are very lucky. As now, very soon, I know Dangote Refinery will start selling PMS.
Okay.
So when he started, that issue of logistic problem in the sea, it may not arise. So that is one. Because by the time when he started loading, I know we marketers, we rely on him and start buying our product and discharge. So there is no issue of flooding. Okay. And he was, the refinery is in progress. So okay. We are expecting maybe within this month, he may commence loading. So if the loading is being commenced, I think that issue has been solved.
Okay, but beyond that now, what other permanent solution can be given? Because not all marketers can buy from him. They will also want to have other options. So are you saying that if the Dangote refinery comes, we'll most likely never see scarcity again?
You can't see scarcity when he comes, because already the issue of scarcity, you know, even this one is not a scarcity.
Okay.
It's just because of the nature, which is something that you are not even thinking about it, and the thing comes just so suddenly. Okay. So just like diesel now, since Dangote have started, we doesn't have any problem of scarcity of diesel.
Okay.
The same thing with aviation fuel. We doesn't have any problem. But before, you have been hearing people are complaining there is no aviation fuel or there is no diesel. So the way, just what we are saying, let the government encourage him so that he can be able to continue the business.
All right, let's talk about the prices now. They've come out to say that there's going to be a slight increase in prices. Is that going to happen even now that the products are fully out?
Presently now, there is no any increment of the price by the government or by the NNPCL.
So how about by the marketers?
The same thing applies to the marketers. You know, sometimes there are situations whereby, especially we independent petroleum marketers, whereby we have different sources of getting our product, like these private depot owners. We normally buy most of our volume of product through them. So these private depot owners, whenever they get their PMS, they normally increase the price to we independent petroleum marketers. And we have no choice, we have to buy it the way they wanted to sell.
Okay, so what are the margins? What have they been buying, and how much have they increased it to, and how much are you buying it now?
Presently now they are selling it like in Lagos at the rate of 720 naira. And the price is supposed to be 560 to 570. So you see the difference.
Is it because of the issue of loading that is making them sell it at that amount?
Not because of the issue. They too, they are talking about the logistic issue and other things. Okay. Because, you know, normally they too, they normally buy it through the NNPC, and they have to go to the, they have to use their daughter vessels to go and carry the product to their depots. So that is their complaint. That is the complaint that they have been giving it to us.
So you're buying it at
720 naira presently, yes, in Lagos.
Presently? So is there a chance that it will drop now that products are available?
Yes, when the product become available, by that time, you know, even now as we are putting pressure with the NNPC so that we may be getting higher volume of product direct. So if we can be able to get that one, there is no need of going to the private depot owners and buy the product. Okay. Yes.
How much is being bought from NNPC?
NNPC, we are buying it at the rate of 564 naira.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so now that it's been bought at 700, does it mean that for the first few weeks now that we have petrol coming in, we're going to see an increase in price? How much is it being sold to the masses?
No, you know, not necessarily. You know, immediately when it is available, and we find we independent petroleum marketers, because, you know, independent petroleum marketers has the highest numbers of retail outlets in the country, because we are amounting of almost 85% of retail outlets in the country is owned by independent petroleum marketers. So if we are getting, if there is proper availability of the product and we are getting our product through the NNPC direct, definitely we are going to crash the price down. And those private depot owners, especially those who doesn't have filling station, we cannot patronize them because already we have our own. Okay. Yes.
Okay, so we're looking forward to, it's not exactly like the prices have necessarily increased, but it's due to the current unavailability that has made it increase, and because of the private depot owners. So hopefully the prices have not increased compared to...
Yes, there is no increase in price.
Okay. Now let's talk about the role of refineries now. We know that we have several refineries in Nigeria aside the Dangote refinery that is also coming up. Do you think any difference would be made if all of these were operational?
Definitely. You know what is the major problem that we are facing is importation of this petroleum product. So if all our refineries, there is no need of any importation.
Okay.
And the price will crash because the pressure that they put in buying this petroleum product outside with dollar, so it's affecting Naira seriously. So we fully depend on our refineries to be loading, I think the price will crash.
Okay, so what...
And again, just of recent, you know, Mr. President has kicked off the program because so that to reduce the pressure on the PMS, the program of CNG,
okay,
compressed natural gas.
Yes.
Because you see, even during this scarcity, when you go to the filling station that are gas-on filling station, there is no queue. No queue.
Okay.
So, Mr. President is seriously working on the issue of how to bring green energy in the country. And the program has already been kick-started. And we have been telling all our independent petroleum marketers to try to key into the program, because it's the only solution. Because like now, if we have maybe, let's say 50% of the vehicles that we have been using in Nigeria today, they are using CNG, then the issue of PMS will come down seriously, because they too, they are looking for buyers. You know, marketers, normally we were looking for buyers. If there is no buyer, then you have to reduce your price.
But won't this also see the price of CNG go up? Because we have...
No, already we have the CNG available in Nigeria.
Okay.
It's a natural commodity, it's there.
Okay.
So there is no any price going up.
So you're saying that Nigerians and marketers keen into CNG is the future in curbing fuel scarcity?
Yes.
All right. Now let's talk about collaboration between stakeholders. Who and who do you think can play a major role in curbing this? Like you've also mentioned, Mr. President, pushing for CNG, which is a good development. What more can be done to, you know, reduce the pressure on, you know, the demand for fuel and boost fuel production and also reduce fuel scarcity? It's almost like a year in, year out thing. We see scarcity every year. So what can be done? Who and who can come together and collaborate, stakeholders? Who do you think need to come into the game to change the game and make it better for fuel supply in Nigeria?
Yeah, just like what I tell you. Already, Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has already introduced the program. And we independent petroleum marketers, since we are the highest number of retail outlets in the country, and we already accepted, we key into the program. That is the reason why you have been seeing us always making effort to be enlightening our members. They should fully participate. Because if they participate fully...
What ways can they participate?
But their participation is by putting the daughter filling stations inside their filling station. So for CNG, because this daughter filling station, when you put it inside your filling station, then you start selling the CNG to the converted vehicles. And many vehicles now, they are on the program of, they have started converting their distance. Okay. Because if you go to NIPCO here in Abuja, you will see those who have CNG conversions, they will start buying their distance. And again, apart from that one, Mr. President too has an interest in the issue of these electric vehicles, which has been going on. So that one too is another way of reducing pressure to the PMS. Okay. So the program is going. The program is going. Okay. And I know, by God's grace, before end of this year, you will see so many CNG filling stations. And you will see so many converted vehicles to CNG. Because one is economical, it's cheaper, and environmental friendly.
Okay. All right, so these are the collaborations you think could actually improve the situation in the country.
Yes.
So beyond that, now let's come back to the PMS industry, the petroleum industry. What can be done to make sure that prices are friendly, products are available at all times, especially when needed, and there is no, back and forth between marketers and depots and NNPC? What is that thing that would be a solution to finding a common ground for everyone to have us?
The solution is just like what Dangote have started.
Okay.
Dangote has already finished his refinery, and more refineries are coming. So by the time when we reduce importing, then the product will come down, because we are not importing it. We are not looking for dollar to go and buy it. We use Naira to buy this commodity. So automatically the price will come down. And apart from Dangote, we two independent petroleum marketers, we have already started getting land that we can be able to build our refinery. So it's a continuous process. So the most important thing, let's develop our refineries in Nigeria. So by the time when the refineries are functioning, I'm telling you, you can buy fuel as lower as you think.
But, is it going to be easy for everyone, or at least people, to start owning? We see Dangote complain about sabotage here and there, access to crude and all of that. Is that going to make any difference at all? Because he has come out to complain that he has to import crude because he can't get in the country.
For Dangote, we don't want to go to that issues, because we independent petroleum marketers, all what we are after, a refined product being discharged in the tank farm. Then we start loading.
Okay. All right. So finally now, what's your word out there to Nigerians who are really hoping and looking forward for a positive outcome from all of this action?
Well, what I can tell all Nigerians, to exercise patience and reduce panic buying.
Okay.
Because there is PMS available. So immediately when all these challenges are being solved, you can see product everywhere and you will go and buy.
Okay, so for Abuja, we're expecting to see reduction in queues today.
Yes, by God's grace, every day from time to time you will be seeing reduction. Okay. Because if you look day before yesterday, the queue is higher, but yesterday has started coming down. Then today too, you will see most of the filling station will start getting the product. So immediately when there is that availability of product, there will be no queue again.
All right. Well, we look forward to watching that play out, because I'm actually thinking of how I'll find my way home today because of lack of vehicles on the streets, because we can't get access.
Feel free.
All right.
The product is available.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us on the show today. It's an honor having you here with us. Thank you so much, sir. Well, we've not come to the end of the show yet, but we've come to an abrupt end of our discussion here. We'll be going on a quick break, and when we get back, we'll get to our newspaper review, and the show continues. Don't go anywhere. Daybreak continues shortly.